Okay, today we're going to do Unit 7, Notes number 8, which is writing from 2 points. So we wrote from a graph earlier this week, and this is pretty much going to be the same thing, except this time we're going to be given the 2 points. So to kind of review, our a value stretches or compresses the function vertically. So we should know this, and we need to know this for our transformations. Remember, if it stretches, it's bigger than 1, and if it compresses, it's less than 1. Remember that your a value is what is your y-intercept. The a value also reflects the function over the x-axis. So this is if your a value is negative. The d value shifts your function up and down. And remember, our d value we find from our horizontal asymptote. So whenever we're writing equations, our horizontal asymptote is always going to be 0. And then the last thing we have is our b value, which is our base. And for this one, we're still going to be finding our common ratio. So we'll just be given the points. We don't have to find them on the graph. So it says, write the equation of an exponential function that passes through each pair of points. Check your work using your table, using a table on your calculator. So what I want you guys to do after we get the equation, go and graph it in your calculator or in Desmos and see, does the table of points match the equation that I created? So you can check your work on these. So whenever you are given a table, you want to make sure, number one, you have your 2 points, but you also are going to need your y-intercept. So what you first need to do is find your common ratio. So to get from 16 to 32, I had to multiply by 2. So that means whatever I had to do from 16 to get from the first number to 16, I had to multiply by 2. So what number times 2 equals 16? That would be 8. So that means my y-intercept is 8. So we need to find our b, our a, and our d value. Our b value is our common ratio, so that's 2. Our a value is our y-intercept, which is 8, and our d value will always be 0. Then I write my equation. Y equals 8 times 2 to the x plus 0. Okay, next one. We need to find our common ratio first. So from 12 to 6, I'm multiplying by 1/2. So that means from 6 to the next number, I got to multiply some half. So what's half of 6? That would be 3. So that means my y-intercept is 3. So my b value equals 1/2 because it's my common ratio. My a value is my y-intercept, which is 3. And then my d value, like I said earlier, will always be 0. So y equals 3 times 1/2 to the x plus my d value, which is 0. So that is how, so the only thing different with this is you have to find your y-intercept. So example 2 says, write the equation of an exponential function that passes through the points -2, 2, and -1, 6. Check your work using the table in your calculator. So you want to create a table and put these points in. So I have -2, 2, and -1, 6. So I'm going to have to find my 0. Let's look. So from 2 to 6, I'm multiplying by 3. So that it gets to the next number, I have to multiply by 3 again. 6 times 3 would be 18. So my b value equals 3. My a value equals 18. And my d value equals 0. You're then going to put all these into the equation. Y equals your a value, which is 18, times your b value, which is 3, to the x plus your d value, which is 0. And you have written your equation. So what I want you to do is go type this into your calculator and check that your table matches the table in your graph. Okay, next page. So we're doing the same thing. It says write the equation of an exponential function that passes through the points 1, 4, and 2, 1. So create my table of 1, 4, 2, 1. So I left some space up here so I could find my y-intercept. So what am I multiplying by 4 to get to 1? I'm actually dividing by 4, which is the same as multiplying by a fourth. So if you're going opposite, you're going to be multiplying by 4, so your y-intercept is going to be 16. So my b equals 1/4. My A equals 16. My D equals 0. Put these into the equation. Y equals 16 times 1/4 x plus my 0. Okay, next question. I have to write the equation of an exponential function that passes through the points -2, 4, and -120. So I can list those in the exact order that they were given. -2, 4, -120. So what did I multiply by? I multiplied by 5. So I got to multiply by 5 again, and I'm going to get a big number, which is 100. So my B, is 5 because that's my common ratio. My A is 100 because that's my y-intercept, and my D is 0. So I'm going to get y equals 100 times 5 to the x plus 0. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any problems writing those. You still need to make sure you write your points in order from left to right. So your x values need to go from least to greatest. So keep an eye on that one. Okay, the next is write the equation of an exponential function with a base of 4. So our b value is 4. And a y-intercept of -3. So that means my a value is -3. So it's going to be y equals -3 times 4 to the x. And the next one says write the equation of a different exponential function that has the same base. So the only thing that needs to change is the 4 to the x. So the -3 can change to anything else. So we can make it a -2. And that is different. You can honestly just take off the negative and it'd be different. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions on that. Last one is transformations. So remember, we can have up to 3. We need to look at our a value. Our a value is, since it is negative, there's a reflection over the x-axis. So that's the negative sign. Since it is bigger than 0, it is a vertical stretch by 4. And then lastly, since it's +2 on the end, it's a shift up by 2. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions over this. This is we'll do our last set of notes next week, but you guys can get started on your homework.